Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. And start out today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most annoying things in this meta. Of course, we've got a very messy meta in general with healers, with gadget spam, etc. But Poco is probably the biggest problem right now, specifically in draft. He's such a great counter to so many brawlers. So we'll dive into both of his builds, because both his healing build and his protective tunes build is pretty busted in this ranked meta, well, draft meta. So of course, you got the healing, you can spam this out like crazy, but protective tunes is the first one we need to take a look at, because it's completely disgusting. I'm lost for words because of how much it counters so many different brawlers. You've got to remember straight away, look at 11-second cooldown with 4-second immunity. So essentially, every 7 seconds, you have the ability to spam out this gadget. It's absolutely busted. So let's take a look at the interactions first and foremost. So starting off with Frank, he completely just destroys Frank's super. Frank stuns someone. Of course, that's the main reason why I use Frank to confirm kills. Well, Poco can just use his gadget, just remove the stun from him and his teammates. Insane counter. Next, Lou. Lou is one of the biggest problems in the meta, but in draft, Poco completely hard counters. He did in the previous metas, but now all of the time. Having this gadget infinite amount of times is just completely broken. It makes Lou absolutely unusable. And then, as you see, Amber, it completely removes Amber's fire. So you're taking away literally one of Amber's best things about her is confirming kills with a super, but you take away all of that damage with a click of a button. It's kind of busted. Moving on to another thing that the Poco just completely hard counters, it's the poison brawlers. So first off, we've got Byron. I've seen this in monthly qualifiers, and I knew about this anyways, but it's absolutely disgusting. It completely counters Byron's attack. You deal no damage for 4 seconds as a Byron. And you think about this, every 7 seconds, you can't deal damage for 4 seconds with Byron. Insane. It's just absolutely crazy to me. Of course, his main attack is poison. Same goes for Willow as well. All of the damage that she's putting out for 4 seconds, it doesn't matter because this Poco gadget completely cancels it out. It's a good job Willow isn't that meta, but Byron is. And then lastly, we have Crow. So it's not as big as a counter, but it still removes his poison effect, which is absolutely huge. Because again, at long range, Crow does no damage anyway. So the poison, it really helps him, and it just removes it. Moving on to the last few that it completely counters. Kit, it doesn't counter Kit in a 1 versus 1, but I know when Kit jumps onto a teammate, for example, you can pop this gadget and the teammate can actually move whilst Kit is still on your back, so you can actually attack Kit whilst he's on you, which is insane. And then we have Ollie. One of the biggest counters to Ollie right now is Poco. In hot zone or anything like that, Ollie just can't do a single thing, so there's no point using your super of Ollie because Poco can just remove it every single time. And then B, I know B is a good counter to Poco because, of course, the outrange, but at least you can remove B slows. There's also other things like coal fire, bow, mind stun, any type of stun mechanic, slow mechanic, fire mechanic, you know, bell trap, for example. There's so much that Poco can count. Okay, so we're going to be moving on to hot zone, which is, of course, Poco's best game mode. And it's going to be pretty hard to show the exact combinations that he's going to be really good against. But as I mentioned literally previously, there's just so many hot zone brawlers where he's so good against. The one in particular here is surely going to be bow mines. So what I can do here as well, I can pop gadget and I can just walk through this squeak gadget, which is just hilarious to me. So I'm also using the gadget gear here on Poco as well, because again, any bow mines I can just anti-stun, any slows I could just walk through. So protective tunes was already a pretty good gadget in draft, but it's mainly because now with just unlimited gadgets, you're pretty much invulnerable to just so many different things. Again, I can pop gadget right here. I mean, if the bow mine ever stunned me or a teammate, we could have just removed the stun from them. And of course, normally metal brawlers like Lou, for example, you've got Poco that can completely counter it with this gadget. Again, I'm waiting for like a bow mine. Come on, can any bow mine just help us out here? Okay, let's pop this gadget on the penny to save them. Also, the slow on Squig's star power, we can completely remove. So there's just so much. Lou, of course, is the big one. As I mentioned, Lou, literally Poco hard counters, and a lot of people are struggling to find a counter to Lou. Well, just look at Poco. Literally absolutely broken in the hot zone meta right now. Thinking of like B as well in the top meta. I'm going to pop a gadget here just to run through that. Poco. Okay, I get killed by the bowman, but regardless. You've also got in this game of like Ollie, for example. You've got Amber, who's very, very popular. You've got Bell with the traps, which is very, very popular. And again, I've already got another gadget. So if anybody wants to bow mine me or anything, well, I can just walk through all those mines. I mean, again, a bit of a terrible example because I got hit by them. But I'm trying to show you guys how busted it is. It's absolutely busted. So again, I'm going to pop this gadget. And I'm not going to get stunned whatsoever by the bow mines. Look at that. It's just hilarious. I'm feeding the bow mines here. But it's just broken. It's absolutely hilarious how most of the time I can't do anything. Like, if I was fully sweating this game would be fully over just so quickly. any more bow mines. There you go, Tick. Just don't get stunned. You're safe here. You're safe in a safe pair of hands with me. Right. Again, another gadget, whether there's any... Okay, we've got this squeak gadget here. I can just walk through it. There's just so much going on that I'm just going to eat all of it. Trying to think of any other brawlers particularly, like B, but are slow as well. Great way to counter. And of course, if you're in draft and you're not facing off against any of these slow brawlers, well, you can just pop on the heal gadget and just overrule them anyway. So again, I got stunned by that bow, theoretically, but the gadget just saved my life. So pretty easy right there. Again, like we've got a bow hypercharge where we've actually got the squeak slow and completely again countering it. That was just a small way of how broken this gadget is, and of course with 11-second cooldown, it's quite a big problem right now in Brawl Stars. But let's move on to a different game. Of course, you've got this gadget in Brawl as well, so a lot of the Brawl brawlers do have like a knockback or a stun or something like that. So literally perfect right here. We've got Frank, and he won't be able to stun a single opponent, especially against this Jackie. I mean, he's probably going to kill Jackie in the open. I can't really help with anything like that, but again, all these spike slows I can just counter out with my gadget. Again, the main point is that Poker might not seem as strong in ladder, but in draft he just seems just absolutely insane because of this gadget spam, being able to just switch your build up to counter two different archetypes. You can counter low DPS with the healing, which we'll go on to after this game, and then of course all the anti-stun, all the things that would typically counter Poco and the Poco strategies, you can just counter out yourself. So I'm going to use the hypercharge here. Of course, as well with Poco, you've got the hypercharge that only charges with 2 supers, which again, it isn't like the best hypercharge in the game, but you get what I mean. It's still pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to use super here on the spike to make him weaker. We could just push up. There's nothing really to use my gadget against here at this moment in time because the Frank hasn't got a good stun or the spike hasn't used his super effectively. But maybe here we can pop the gadget onto the Jackie, and there we go. Like, Jackie just froze. Jackie just actually froze because she thought she'd be stunned. But psych, I've got this gadget instead, and it can save you, Jackie. I think if Jackie would have realized I had this gadget, she would have just walked that in. But again, I've got this Frank anti-stun, which we just can't do anything about. I'm going to use super right here just to annoy the Frank even more. We should be able to just combine with Jackie, and there we go. Beautiful. I'm going to pop... I was going to pop gadget there just to help the Jackie out even more, especially against the mythic gear, against Spike. It can definitely help out. And here we have the hypercharge again. I'm hoping this gadget comes back in time for this super. Okay, there we go. We use it against Jackie again. Jackie didn't even realize. Come on. I bet they don't even know what this... I don't even know what this gadget does. I bet noobs are just like, huh? Like, what's just happened there? And that's why, again, like a lot of the community consensus is this gadget isn't good or not. So I'm just going to pop that gadget. Why not? Just in case we got stunned by the Frank. Got a super up as well. That's going to be Melody dead. I mean, I can't really help out that Jackie there. Come on, pass me the ball. Pass me the ball. Run up, run up, run up on them. Run up on them. Spike's going to go down. I'm one shot from super. Run it up, run it up. Okay, one shot from hypercharge. I may as well just pop this now. I don't think the Melody can really do anything. I mean, I think this Frank knows that he can't really stun me right now. That's why he's not even attempting to use his gadget or super or anything like that. That's going to be an easy dub. I mean, that didn't really showcase just how broken this gadget can be, but just small little things like that, especially against Frank. I've seen it used against Kit as well in Brawl. But let's move on to the other gadget now. Now we're going to move on to the second Poco gadget. So the reason why this, again, is so good is because of the cooldown. I knew straight away when the update dropped, this gadget was so toxic, because when you think about it, right, you've got these gadgets that have 5 seconds worth of healing. Well, the cooldown isn't actually technically 16 seconds, it's 11 seconds instead. So of course, when you heal up all 3 teammates, that's going to be 3,700 health per person, and then times that by 3, that's 11,000 HP that you're distributing every 11 seconds pretty much. It is crazy, especially with the gadget cooldown as well. So I'll show you some use case for it right here. Now moving on to the other Poco build as I just discussed, and it's going to be pretty hard to show with, I think this was the Mortis in my last game. Oh no, it's going to be hard to show with randoms essentially, especially on ladder, but in ranked this would be really easy to show. So essentially I'm using, I don't know, like quadruple heal. It's just infinite heal. So I'm using the capo. I'm using tune and fork, where you can just spam like crazy. Again here, like I'm about to get another gadget. Well, this Nita's going to be fully healed up in no time. And then I'll have a hype charge on top of that, which has a really fast charge rate. Like, it's just impossible, especially for low DPS brawlers. So the reason why it's so good is there's multiple examples on my stream that I showed already. Tune into my streams pretty much every day at... Okay, why did that just happen there? Go into my streams at 6 p.m. every day. But yeah, what happens in the draft a lot of the time, especially what noobs make this mistake, is that they'll draft multiple low DPS brawlers. So I'm talking like Stu, Janet, and then the opponent can pick like a tank example late. But the one with Poco is that what they'll do is, again, they will have like second and third. Say you have first pick, you just pick, I don't know, you just pick a standard brawler like Penny or, I don't know, Stu, something like that. And then they pick, I don't know, say if you didn't pick Stu, they picked Stu and Penny, or Stu and Janet. It's just like so many combinations, which a lot of people make the same mistake. Well, you could just go Poco, and then you can just go any tank or anything like that, and they just won't have the DPS to deal with you. This is specifically in Brawl Hockey, Gem Grab, Brawl Ball, Hot Zone. These 4 game modes, you can make it happen every single time with. So Poco's like the perfect draft brawler in a sense. Like, he can just counter so much. Like, here comes another gadget, just fully keeping the Mortis alive. Again, he's an idiot, so he's not really getting the most value here. I've got another super, which I'm going to have to use on my Nita to keep her alive. I'm trying my damn best to keep my teammates alive here, but you get the gist of it, guys. You get the gist. I don't know how many more times I need to play Poco for it not to work with randoms, but again, if you're working as a team, you should be able to make it work. Again, my teammates are just idiots, and they just can't survive with all of this healing. Again, we've got a Nita bear. We're just going to consistently heal her up. We've got another gadget. Oh, the Nita doesn't even know how to duke out consistently. There comes Mortis with a hypercharge. Hopefully he can do a little bit here with my heals. Again, I'm like 1 shot away from super, so that should be able to help him out. Okay, he actually jukes out this stun. Come on, you can use your hypercharge bats instead here. And finally, there we go, team wipes. There we go. Nita's just walking in a straight line as usual, but that's all you have to do in some game modes. Just walk in a straight line and win. That's all you got to do. Come on, Mortis, do something. I believe in you. I really do believe in you. I'm going to pass this across, and hopefully Hypercharge Super is going to help him out with the heals. I mean, his healing as well with his bats. It's just too much for the opposition, and that's going to be an easy win. So, yeah, Poco with the healing. It is a big problem right now in some specific ways in draft. It's just crazy the amount of healing. Let's jump into one more scenario. So moving on to the final game, which of course is really strong in, is Gem Grab. So with Gem Grab, I think it's probably actually one of his worst game modes out of the 3. But still, you've got a lot of healing potential. I'm actually using Screeching Solo here because it's a little bit harder to like consistently heal up your teammates. But still, with the gadget, it's going to get so much value. I still would rather go Tune and Fork here. And also, it pairs really well with like literally Hank right here. So we're going to pop gadget on the Hank. He's going to get healed up really well. Normally, Poco, you want to play on like more bushier maps because, of course, that's where you're going to get the most value out of your teammates playing tanks. So gonna heal up here. Hank's gonna save my life, thank you very much. But again, if they haven't got a big tank counter or a lot of damage, there's no way they can really kill me. Beautiful. We can get the melody down as well. Nice. I've got a hypercharge super I can use if any of them want to heal up teammates. I'm just gonna use a hypercharge super and just use it for myself instead. Just run out the melody. There we go. Got a bit of value there, and we've got another gadget on my Hank. Luckily, the Tara has no hypercharge. Oh no, here comes a Mortis. Nice from the Hank. There we go. There is a melody with hypercharge, but again, the healing's just been way too much for them, especially paired with this juicy Hank. Hank, get over here, please. Hank, please. I'll save you, don't worry. I'll save you with my infinite heals. What can they even do into this? They can't do a single thing. They can't do a single thing other than charge a million Mortis hypercharge bats onto us. Okay. Yeah, maybe that is a counter. It doesn't matter. We've got another gadget. Maybe we can turn things around here. Hypercharge super. Come on. Pinch him out. Pinch him out. Pinch him out. You've got to get him, Mortis. You've got to get him. Come on. Okay, it doesn't matter. We lost. It doesn't matter. But you get the gist of it, guys. You get the gist of it. So, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Really, without that Mortis hypercharge chaining, of course, that would have been the easiest win. But it's just impossible to show this with randoms. It's really difficult. But you just know how strong Poco is in draft for sure. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.